Boom. What is good happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another special episode of Good Friends, Better Rivals. On this episode, it's a somber mood. It's very somber. We'll get to why it's somber. But
I think they know why. They all
yeah,
know why.
no, they all know why. But let me introduce you first. Even though I always introduce you every week, and they should know your name by now. But I still gotta do the I gotta hit all the basics to take us through this somber evening. We are recording this on Thursday night, so Thursday night football just happened. Packers, um, Detroit. I think Detroit won. I didn't watch the game
Yes,
because
they blew
I
them.
because I don't care about Detroit and Green Bay. So why should I watch the game? Like that's the thing about certain, I get you can love football, but you're not gonna tell me, hey man, Thursday night Packers Lions. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't.
Wasn't a good game, anyways.
Yeah, and it's a Thursday night game. Who cares? But I got my co-host, my main man, Caleb. Caleb, how are you? I shouldn't have asked that question because I know the answer. My bad.
Yeah,
My
this
bad.
is
I'm
such a
sorry.
dumb
I'm sorry.
question. This is a
I'm
dumb
sorry. That's
question.
okay. You know what, Caleb? I would yell at you for saying that, but you're right. That was a dumb question. I know how you're feeling. You're pretty sad. Pretty sad.
Uh, yeah,
Sad. Just disappointed. A bit miffed. All in one. Miffed means angry. Wish you didn't know
yeah.
that. Okay, I should point that
I
out.
think, yeah, we knew that.
But before we get into it, Caleb, we do have some massive football news. We do have some massive football news before we get into the NFL. Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift are dating. Okay.
That is not NFL news. That's celebrity gossip bullshit.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't care. Shot. No, but hey, Swifties, don't come at me. Like you can love her. She has
You
some
come
good shit.
at
Don't
me.
come.
Screw y'all.
Hey,
Y'all.
hey, shut your mouth. Hey, shut your mouth. Okay. They're a dangerous band of people. You zip it. All right.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
not.
get
I'm
my
not
own.
very. I'm not very afraid of people who call themselves Swifties.
Yeah, but I am because they're just as deadly as Marvin Harrison. So zip it.
No,
All right.
they really
All right.
aren't.
Shout out to the Swifties. Respect. But actually,
No,
actual
no
NFL,
respect.
actually football news. The USFL and the XFL are on an intent to merge in the coming months. Um,
And we cover those two leagues.
yeah, we did on some occasion. Shout out to the Houston Gamblers, Mark Thompson. Shout out to the XFL's Las Vegas Outlaws with no, not Las Vegas Outlaws,
Outlaws,
the Renegades by
Vipers.
Arlington. They got Luis Perez from the Vegas Vipers. Vegas Vipers, not the Outlaws. The Outlaws is the old Las Vegas football team from He Hate Me. Shout out to them back in the day. So they're merging. They're merging. So I don't know. Are they going to keep all the teams, or
I
are they
think
going
they
to?
can. I mean,
Yeah, because
there's
it's
no reason
only
why they couldn't keep, except for the Houston team. Someone in Houston has to move because you can't have two Houston teams. But all the
uh
rest of the teams are all different cities.
yeah, because you have the Gamblers and the Houston Roughnecks. One of them got to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, one of them got to go.
Or you know what? You keep
But the
them
rest of
both.
the teams, they're all good. I think all the other teams can be good.
What? Well, you can keep Houston. You can split Houston down the middle.
I don't know if you want like 4, 5. I'm gonna 4 or 5 Texas teams that they'll have. That feels like a little much.
Well, no. So you have the two Houston teams in the Renegades.
San Antonio and Dallas,
Dallas. Who's Dallas?
Arlington.
Okay, the Renegades. My bad. So the Renegades, San Antonio. Those are the two XFL teams. And then you have the Gamblers and the Roughnecks. That's four.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
seems
that's
like a
it.
little much. Someone's got to move.
But it's Texas
Someone's
though.
got to move.
It's four teams for Texas much.
Yeah, someone's got to move.
So it's either someone's got to move or someone's got to die. So either you.
No,
So
because then the teams will be uneven.
that's true. So either they move the Gamblers or the Roughnecks out of Texas, or they move or they move. But here's the thing: what's more recognizable, the Roughnecks and the Gamblers, or the San Antonio Brahmas? Can't you just move the Brahmas?
Well, I mean, you still have two Houston teams. I mean,
That's true.
um,
It's true. But you have two New York City teams.
Yeah, but Houston's not New York.
It's the third largest city in the country.
Yeah, but it's still not New York.
You have a point. You have a point. I'm saying it could work. Do they want to do it? Probably not. But so one of them got to move. But which one moves? The Gamblers or the Roughnecks? Who moves?
Not sure.
Yeah,
Maybe they just both. They probably just both stay. Honestly.
they could. But yeah, did you think they were ever gonna?
Oh yeah. I mean, we talked about that before. We pretty much said about the end of the XFL season. We pretty much said why don't they just merge? I mean,
That's true. We did.
uh,
Yeah, you're right about that. We did.
we pretty much said that. There was no reason to have two separate seasons and two separate leagues when they're supposed to be doing the same thing as building up these players to have a chance at the NFL. I mean, that's their whole goal of these two leagues, and they know they can't sustain by themselves, and they haven't shown that they can really sustain the viewership. So might as well merge their
Mm-hmm.
viewership and just play one season.
That's true because the this incarnation of the USFL was actually backed by Fox. It was a Fox. It was a Fox. It was a Fox product. And they were really harping on the views TV wise because people weren't showing up to the games. But but here's the thing, Caleb, with these spring leagues and these other leagues is they need to find a long term way of survival. They need to be attached, like I think me and you kind of agree, to the NFL. They can need to be known as a development league or a league where you send somebody to play football at a lesser level, but it's more than college because it filters out the college superstars. Those people in college who are college superstars and they're not NFL talent. Like Scooby Wright the third, or like college people, like college players that you're like, this man's great in college, but he couldn't make it in the NFL. Johnny Manziel, but he has other issues. But like solid college people, but you filter it out so you have second tier football players, not college football players, but second tier football players. And you know what? You may send your player, your young player that's not really playing much. You send him to your XFL affiliate or your USFL affiliate. You get him reps. Like imagine if the Niners had one and they're like, let's send Trey Lance there. Let's send him there instead of
Yeah.
trading him to Dallas.
I mean, that's what they used to do with the NFL Europe League. I don't know why they
Yes.
don't treat this new merger of this league to be doing the same thing. You can still pay them their same contract and just put them in that league. Like I don't understand why they can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They can still get paid the same. They don't have to get paid what the other USFL or XFL players are getting paid. They can still get paid their regular salary.
Yeah, and you know what? And if there's like, I think the NFL is like probably like, oh, but they want a union and all that jazz. Man, what y'all scared of unions for? Y'all already destroyed the union anyway. So you're not, it's not like the MLB union and the MLB minor league players union where you gotta, where there's a possibility that they win. So like you don't even gotta like pay them. Like it's horrible to say because it's really horrible to say. You ain't gotta that much money.
Am I still here? You still
Yeah,
there?
you're still here. Can you hear me? I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. All right, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, man, you don't really have to do much. You kind of just like have to support them. But you kind of create your own development league that's not the college system. Because the college was the development league for years. And same thing with the NBA. It was all about college. But now they're creating the G League in like their own like their own image, and it's creating more. The G League Ignite, you have like 6, 7 players being drafted now because the players are going into the NBA and facing better competition than college kids who are future accountants and future doctors. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say doctors because Montreal Roll is a doctor. He was like a hard hitting safety. So like I take that back. Yeah, like no, I'm sorry to the accountants. I feel like the accountant has become the unathletic job of the insult world. So shout out to my accountant. You're a wonderful man. I love you. So don't take that as a bad thing. But
You
yeah,
have an accountant?
yeah,
You don't have an accountant?
yeah, I do. I have an accountant.
You don't?
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
What's his name?
Muhammad.
Okay.
For real. No lie. No lie. I got an accountant, dog. No lie.
Okay.
He handles me and my dad's business.
All right. Well, there you
go. Yeah. Yeah, he handled some of my taxes. So he's my accountant. My own personal taxes.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah. So yeah, this was inevitable. And with The Rock knows what he's doing. The Rock wants the NFL's cosign. He wants the NFL connection. I think that's why the USFL and the XFL merged, because they knew The Rock was going to go after the cosign. He's going to go after it. And he may get it because he's The Rock, man. He tends to get what he wants, except that Black Adam movie to be successful. But most of the stuff, he gets what he wants. Most of the stuff.
Well, he can control that.
Yeah, it's WB. It all goes to shit with WB, but it is what it is. But yeah, Caleb, me and you kind of said it a couple months ago during the XFL USFL season. What is their end goal? And we said their end goal is probably merger, or we also said they could play a winner versus winner bowl where the winner of the USFL faces the winner of the XFL, and they do like an end of the year bowl game or championship. Like the Super Bowl, like the AFL, NFL. It was called the Super Bowl prior to the merger. It was the AFL versus the NFL.
Hey, Varys is still choppy, but
okay, I'm back.
Okay,
I'm back. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with this internet, man. I don't know, man. That's why I like going live, because it does not none of that nonsense. But yeah, Caleb, your thoughts? Any final thoughts before we go into the Cowboys and Giants?
No, I mean, like I said, I thought it would eventually come to this, and I think it's a good idea to have spring football. The Cowboys have 2 starters on our team from the USFL, so it does prove to work.
All right. Now let's get right to the men in blue. The Blues run through. Let's go with the so-called team of America.
I will say one thing right now.
But we didn't win. No.
I know, but I only have that one.
Can't play the soundbite if we didn't win.
Okay, do you want to play this one? No, I can't play that one.
I don't want to play that one.
Okay, all right. But I don't know what else to play. It's not like I need to. Okay, you know what?
We don't play anything. We just sit and we just have a moment of silence. That's what we do.
We have a moment of silence. Okay, I was gonna say I'll find like a sad cowboy one. I'll find one.
That's unnecessary.
Yeah, I think it's very necessary.
Okay, let's just get to it.
Okay, hit it.
Okay, Cowboys lose to the Cardinals, 28-16. This is one of the biggest embarrassments of in a while. To lose to a team with the lack of talent, the Cardinals going up against our team with heavy talent, there's no excuse for it. We shouldn't be losing these type of teams, and that's been the Cowboys' problem for a long time, for different Cowboys teams for previous years, of just not being able to handle success, going out there and just playing down to the competition and just losing a team that they shouldn't. That happened last year. We go out there, blow out the Vikings, and we struggle against the Texans. We struggle against the Colts. Teams we should be whooping on, and we don't play well. And that's just kind of been the problem. And it just seems like all the problems that we've had in previous years just all came up in this game. Whether it was the fact that we couldn't score in the red zone, which has been a major problem for the last 2 games. We couldn't stop the run, which was a major problem that we had last year. And guess what also showed up? We all of a sudden caused so many penalties again, like we did a year and 2 years ago, when it was a major problem. We thought we had these problems solved this year.
13 penalties for
but apparently we don't.
Yards.
Yeah. That we had that cleaned up, and then all of a sudden we come apart, and we're completely undisciplined. I don't know how that happens. I don't know why they didn't get us prepared for this game. I don't know if they were looking ahead. I don't know if they weren't, but they definitely weren't. They definitely were not prepared to go in and face this Cardinals team. Um, and then it really showed. It really showed because they were extremely flat coming out. They couldn't execute, and the biggest problem was the red zone that they just did not execute. They didn't execute the plays. They had opportunities, they were open, and it just didn't happen. One of the major problems is the receivers not getting open. The Titans definitely not getting open because that's, like I said, I've always been saying it. Dak likes those tight ends. They were not helping him out. They just weren't helping him out, and that was a big problem why we couldn't get into the red zone there. And then Dak just not making the best decisions when we got down there. We were able to move the ball really well up and down the field, honestly, on every drive we had pretty much. I mean, we were starting way back in our own territory, and we were still able to move the ball pretty well. And then once we got the red zone, we completely we don't know what the hell to do. It looked like Dak didn't know what the hell to do because he had clear opportunities. And during early in the drive, he would take off and run. But then once once you're in red zone, he doesn't decide to take off and run. When he has a clear opportunity to do that, he decides to throw incompletion. It's just I just don't understand why. I don't understand what the problem is there. It could be why we couldn't just punch it in. That definitely came from we had 3 offensive linemen that were from right at the start of the game. We're not going to play, so we had 3 backups in there. So I think that was part of the problem why we couldn't. McCarthy couldn't just call straight up, just okay, let's go pat it in there, because he didn't think
but
we
that
would
doesn't matter,
have the
man.
power to do so.
That doesn't matter with his thing. I don't want to bring up the Giants, but I'm gonna bring them up because the Giants had 3 backups in against the Cardinals, and they played phenomenal in the second half. And you know what?
Yeah.
Your backups are better than our backups. Y'all should have.
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna blame it on the O line. I thought those backups actually played pretty well for most of the game because I mean, I'm just talking about specifically in the red zone is what I'm talking about. The play calling that he was talking about. For most of the game, they played pretty damn well. They only allowed a couple of sacks, but they obviously Tony Pollard had a hell of a day running.
122.
He ran for like 122 yards. So it definitely wasn't on the own line.
5.3 a carry. That's that's a first down every 2 carries.
Yeah, they were. I mean? I think they were doing a pretty damn good job for their first starts in the NFL. With the center and the guard there, and then Tyler Smith just coming back from his injury as well. And then it was nice to see Al finally showing up that he's back to his form. We were definitely questioning like, where's Mike Gallup been? He definitely showed up. He was the lead receiver and making some really, really good catches during the game. So there was some positives there. Like I said, we were able to move the ball really well. It's just the red zone just killed us. The penalties killed us. I mean, like you said, you just mentioned how many yards we gave up. We gave up a touchdown worth of penalties. I mean, that's just insane to me. Like I said, I thought we had these problems solved, and we didn't.
What were the penalties, Caleb? Okay, like I see you had a bunch of penalties, right? I didn't fully catch the game.
Lots of holding, lots of false starts, and lots of
offensive line penalties. There's a lot of offensive line penalties.
It was a mixture of those and defensive penalties of just doing dumb things, holdings, pass interferences, those type of things. So it was a mixture of
Do you
both
think
sides.
He got conservative? Do you think he got conservative in the red zone because he didn't trust the offensive line to pound it in?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. That's the only way I can even conceive of why I couldn't just punch it in there. With Dowdle's a pretty strong guy. We could have just punched in with him. and then he couldn't really call those type of plays because he tried to get fancy with it, try to go other ways, and like I said, the Titans just weren't getting open, and those are major when you get in the red zone. You need to try to show up and get open down there and box out the defender and catch a touchdown there.
Is this where losing Dalton Schultz hurts, Caleb? Because I know you said it doesn't really matter that he's gone, but I would think like back, when he was there in the red zone, he always looked like he was always open.
Schultz. I mean he was a pretty good red zone. I mean, it definitely could have hurt us. Not having Zeke hurt us to just give it to him, pounded me. Everybody says he washed, but he had 12 touchdowns. He didn't just get that out of nowhere. Like he knew how to find the end zone. So just a combination of some missing parts there. But the biggest problem is, the defense got all the praise for the first 2 weeks, and they deserved it. They played hell. They played great. I mean, they deserve that praise, but they definitely deserve all the blame of being just a disaster,
ripped apart by Josh Dobbs,
getting gashed by Connor. I mean, they just got run all over.
7 yards a carry.
I mean, it's embarrassing, the holes that were opening up. And it's just, they're over pursuing, and they're just getting, and then the offensive line is just pushing them that way. They want to go that way, and then the offensive line is just pushing them.
Caleb, you know what's funny? It's like someone told you that their biggest weakness is run defense, right? And you have this running back named Saquon Barkley, and you decide not to give him the ball. Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, also the Jets. I mean, that's why Brees Hall put up those 4 footballs on Twitter, saying
they can't stop the run. They can't stop the run
because they knew what they should have done, and guess what? The Cardinals knew exactly what to do, and they just kept running the ball because they knew they can exploit that weakness that this defense has. And I just didn't know that Trayvon Diggs being out for the season,
that does hurt,
would have such a major effect on the back end. And it's Deron Bland's first game on the outside, so I'll give him a little repeat from that. And Gilmore doesn't have the same speed he once had, but he can still cover. Really, he's still smart, so he can cover. Just doesn't have the top speed to keep up with some guys. But it just doesn't make sense why you let Josh Dobbs, do what he does on you.
Caleb, here's the thing, Caleb. You remember last year where you said, I don't really trust the Eagles defense because they haven't played good offenses to really mount anything. Could it be after 2 weeks, you guys played 2 not very good offenses, and people were like, look at this great defense. But then when you had an offense that's kind of competent,
it wasn't a good offense either. I mean, the Cardinals aren't great on offense. It's just they did what
they were pretty damn good against the Giants, driving 28.
I mean, the Giants aren't very good on defense.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I'll talk about it later. I'll talk about it differently. I watched it live, Caleb.
Like I said, it's just coming out flat. I mean, that's all it is. Just not being prepared for this game. Just not executing what you're supposed to be doing. Not being sound. They frustrated Parsons when Dobbs would take off and run himself, and he was confused of who he should go with the running back or the quarterback. I don't get it. I don't get why you can't fix it. That's a problem. It's been a problem for the last 2 years. I don't know why can't you just get it fixed? Like I said, I always give Dan Quinn a lot of praise. Get this shit fixed. It's been a problem. It's been a problem. We all know it's been a problem. So just get it fixed. Like, I don't get it. Just teach them how to.
But what's the fix? Is it getting another run stopper like Jonathan Hankins? Is it run fits? Is it just lack of focus? That's what we try to do.
I mean, we've done that. We drafted Mozzie Smith in the first round for that reason, to try to fix this problem. They're just not playing. They're not playing. They just don't seem like I said. Parsons don't seem like he knows which one to take. It's just being they got to know their assignments and who and know how to counter those.
Is it paralysis by overanalysis?
Those RPOs, you know.
It's a paralysis by overanalysis where Michael Parsons is thinking too much and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. You know, where against the Giants,
give him an assignment, quarterback or take the running back. It's really not that difficult.
Yeah, kind of have like a two-layered.
I assigned.
Kind of like a two-layered tackling approach where Micah goes running back, linebacker goes, or like Micah gets quarterback, linebacker flowing behind him gets running back type of thing. If you think about it, Lane Van Der Esch, Mo Clark, one of them following.
Yeah, I mean it's not that difficult. That's why I just don't understand why we can't get a fix. I mean, other teams do it. Other teams counter these types of offenses, and I don't know why we have such a problem with it. But yeah, that's pretty much the game. We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't score in the red zone, and that's why we lost.
All right, pretty much what happened. All right, now we're moving on to the other boys in blue, but they played in prime time on Thursday night. I actually went to this game live. I was at the game. I was watching it live. I was in Santa Clara. I just want to point out, it's so messed up when Niners play in primetime. It's so messed up. I've always noticed this, where they show these clips of San Francisco, the Bay Area, like the Bay and SF, but then they always like cut to Santa Clara, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this? You know, when people talk about like, hey man, like, what's the worst thing in the Bay? Like, yo, man, imagine the Niners moving to Santa Clara. Like, I know, like, the Raiders at least moved to an entirely new city. Like, they're like, we're leaving California. Like, we're leaving California. We're going to Vegas. All right. You're like, you know what? Fine. I understand. Like, fine. The Warriors moved to San Francisco. That was pretty messed up. Because, you know, you stayed in Oakland for years, then you moved to SF. It was kind of messed up. It's like moving into your next door neighbor's house and, you know, shacking up with his wife. It's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? It's kind of messed up. But like, imagine like you're Niners, but you're the Niners fans. They blow up Candlestick and they tell you that we're moving 2 hours south or an hour without
2 hours.
Well, with traffic, an hour and a half with traffic, 30 minutes without traffic. I think I really wasn't really paying attention to the car ride because we were having fun in the car. So it kind of just flew by, you know, and then we had to swing by In-N-Out, get some food with the homie. And then we went to the game. Right. And I went to the game in my section, you know, it was mostly Niners. You know, you can't take over the Niners stadium. You know, like what happened with Vegas and the Steelers last week, you know, it was funny.
Oh, that was another, but before you go, I don't want to interrupt, but that was another point I wanted to bring up. The fact that we always lose to the Cardinals, we're like 1-7. We're 1-8 now, I think, against them. And it's extremely weird why we always have problems with them, whether they're a good team, whether they're a bad team, whether we're a good team or a bad team. It doesn't matter. We somehow lose to them. But the thing is,
you take over their stadium.
We fill up. That's our second home. That is our second home. We have more Cowboys fans in that stadium. You can hear the cheering for the Cowboys when we play them in Phoenix. And I've been to 2 of those games, so I know firsthand that we fill up that stadium, but we somehow lose. I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
Oh, it's your fault.
What the hell happens?
It's your fault.
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
It's your fault. No, but I have a theory. It's the bad juju of the Emmitt Smith situation. I think so. Hey man, you like, come on, like, what else can we explain it, bro? Y'all let Emmitt Smith walk and get where he walked to. He walked right into Arizona.
He was old. I mean,
I know, but you know, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he was just like, you know, like the curse of Emmitt Smith, if we think about it, even though
it's not really, I mean, we made the playoffs after we let him go the next year.
Yeah, you're right. But you're 1-9, you're 1-8 against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You know, when they're good, when they're bad, you seem not to beat them. The curse of Emmitt Smith. Let's call it the curse of Emmitt Smith, Caleb, so you don't have full responsibility. It's Emmitt Smith's fault. The curse of Emmitt Smith.
I'm not gonna put it on him.
Well, no, it's your fault for letting him go, so he's cursing you.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. It is what it is. Whatever you. I know you're not gonna. I know you're not gonna put it on him because he's your favorite football player of all time. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, man, I was at the game in real life. Niners. Good. Like when they're bad, Niners fans don't show up. Like, like, they don't like they do not show up because they're smart fans. Because they're like, why would I show up to a shit team? You know what I mean? And Niners ownership sees this empty stadium and like wants to be better, and they be better. And then when the Niners are good, that stadium is always packed. It's always sold out. No empty seats. Probably a couple, like one or two, maybe. You know what I mean? In my section, there was like probably like two empty seats, but my section was jam packed with Niners fans. I went with my Niners fans friends, so I was the only a Giants fan there. I wore my hat. Everyone knew I was a Giants fan. I didn't get no problems, so that was cool. Well, really, they couldn't really heckle me because I'm like, they just whooped my team's ass. So why even talk shit? You know what I mean? Even though there was a fight that broke out in the lower levels, two fights actually. One between two Niners fans and another between a Niners fan and a Giants fan. I don't understand it.
Niners game. I mean, there's always fights in the Niners game.
Yeah, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. It don't make sense. So like, yeah. So I got seats right behind the end zone. I think it was the I don't know. It was behind the end zone. It was behind the end zone. I like that view because you see either when your defense is on your side, you see the defensive progression, and I quite enjoyed that. And that's what I was focused on mostly because I see what they were doing defensively. They were going man and they were stacking the box. They had no respect for Daniel Jones whatsoever. It also came about in the post game conversation with Mike Silver. Mike Silver now works for the San Francisco Chronicle, and a couple of this one thing that makes me laugh, Caleb, because like you're a grown ass man, right? You say something about another grown ass man. You say it with your chest and you put your name on it, right? You know what I mean, Caleb? If you're gonna talk smack about somebody, Caleb, say like I'm the one who said this, right? Apparently, these Niners players they talked to Mike Silver. They said this is anonymous. So Mike Silver didn't say their names, kept it anonymous because they weren't man enough to put it on the record. And they talked smack about Daniel Jones. Fine, whatever. He's a grown man. He'll deal with it. But my thing is like, bro, if you're gonna talk smack and you're gonna talk your stuff, put your name on it. Say you said this. Say you said this. Yeah, I'm the one who said this about him. That's one thing I don't like about this. Like, hey man, I'm gonna talk smack, but you can't put my name on it. That's some coward stuff. So point that out. So yeah, they had no respect for the Giants offense. They had no respect. Andrew Thomas was not playing. So we had Joshua Zudu on left tackle. Shane Lemieux was playing left guard, unfortunately. Then we had John Michael Schmitz and Marcus McCathan was back again at right guard. And then you had Evan Neal playing right tackle. So that was the offensive line. That was the key. We had we're successful in the run early on, but then we quickly abandoned it because they were sending 5 at us on every play because they were going like, we're going man. We're going to go man with our safeties and our corners. We don't respect their passing game. And you know what? They were right. It was a lot of short passes, quick passes. They were getting 5 yards, 7 yards, but we don't get a lot of first downs. The offense really didn't show up. Because they didn't have Saquon. Andrew Thomas wasn't playing. They did. Like remember remember the Seahawks game last year? You remember the Seahawks game last year where I told you the Seahawks? Yeah, against the Giants, where the Seahawks basically said we have no respect for your wide receivers. We're playing man, zero coverage. We're jamming everybody. Like Mike Jackson, Tariq Woolen. They went man. And they said, you're Marcus Johnson, really? We're going man, and we're gonna stop the run. And that's what they did. They stopped the run. That's what Steve Wilkes and the Niners did. They're like, our corners are better. Our defensive line is better. Our defensive line is Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, Javon Kinlaw, Javon Hargrave. Yeah, we're gonna get sacks. And we were backed into our own end zone, like deep into our own end zone. And I don't know who's calling the plays. It's Brian Daboll, Mike Kafka. I don't know. But Caleb, let me ask you, Caleb, would it be a wise idea to block Nick Bosa with a tight end in the slot?
No, I don't think that'd
No,
be great.
that's not a good idea, right? Right? Guess
No?
what the New York Giants did on 3rd and 10?
I would assume they did just that.
Yeah. You know what Nick Nick Bosa did on that play?
I would assume that he sacked the crap out of Daniel Jones.
Yes, you at 100%. What goes in your brain that you're like, you know what, guys? I'm not gonna make Evan Neal guard Nick Bosa. I'm gonna tell my tight end to block Nick Bosa. What are you doing? They admitted defeat. They admitted defeat. The game wasn't called. Daniel Jones missed Jalen Hyatt wide open once or twice on a deep route. Jalen Hyatt had 21 offensive snaps, 0 targets. You know, sometimes Caleb, you know, I don't advocate this a lot, but sometimes a quarterback got to be like, you know what, flip it. You're someone's open downfield. I'm just gonna throw it and see if Jalen Hyatt makes a play. If it gets picked off, it gets picked off. But I'm trying to make a play. Daniel Jones wasn't trying to make a play. It was always, Paris Campbell 4 yards. Paris Campbell has no idea what yak is. He catches the ball and he falls down. He catches the ball and he falls down. Catch it. Wan'Dale Robinson came back. Yeah, he had a little bit of juice, which is crazy to me because that man tore his ACL and he's back already. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. So that was his first. That was his first game time action. Isaiah Hodgins did nothing. The offensive line couldn't survive that. But here's the thing, we expected that against this Niners defense. This was kind of expected. You didn't want it to happen, but if it happened, you weren't shocked. But the biggest shock was the defense. The defense had no heart. The defense did not know how to tackle. They accepted defeat because they were out schemed because, you know, it was like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. You're like, hey man, watch the screenplay, watch the draw, you know, basic 3rd down plays. Guess what was the first, it was 3rd and 15. It was a screenplay to Christian McCaffrey. Guess how many yards Christian McCaffrey got?
Probably more than 15. 20
yards. He got like 20 yards. You accepted defeat on the line. You knew they were going to go quick. So Brock Purdy was going quick pass game. Shout to the main man Authentic on Twitter. He told me that I think Brock Purdy was releasing the ball in like 2.34 seconds, which is very quick. So if you know that, hands up. Hands up. You know, hands up. Rush, hands up. Rush, hands up. Jump. If you start to figure this out as the game is going on. Rush, hands up. You're going against Trent Williams. Do I expect you to beat Trent Williams? No. No, Trent Williams is not a man you can easily go one-on-one against and win. It's a very hard thing to do in the NFL. And you're basically like Kayvon do this. Kayvon Thibodeau, I'm a big fan. Love the guy. He got a sack. But something's off. Something's off. People are talking about Trent Williams punching A'Shawn Robinson in the face in the game. He did punch him in the face, but people forget that A'Shawn Robinson uppercutted Trent Williams like a couple seconds earlier. He just straight uppercuts him, and he tried to get away with it. He tried to get Trent Williams tossed. It didn't work because I think the refs saw that punch by A'Shawn, then saw the punch by Trent, and kind of like, you know what, we're not kicking any of you guys out because y'all both punch each other in the face, and we kind of keeping it moving. But you know, they had a dumb thing saying like, oh, we didn't see the punch. I'm like, yeah, you did, but we know why you didn't kick him out, because he also got punched in the face. And so that left tackle, you know, he was stopping anybody on that side, you know, Jahad Ward, Kayvon Thibodeau. You're not gonna get past, you know Trent Williams. It's only the greats get past Trent Williams, you know. TJ Watt, Von Miller, you know what I mean? Probably if Aaron Donald's on that side, like that's what happened. But like you're a second-year player in Kayvon Thibodeau, you're still learning rushing the passer. Your role is to also play linebacker as well. But you're a defensive end. You should be a 3 tech, like a 3 gapper, or wide not or like wide him out. Like I don't know what they want from this kid.
He did have
What's
a sack,
his
didn't
job? He had a sack. He had 1 sack. It was a coverage sack. The coverage was pretty good overall. But yeah, there was no but when they ran the ball with efficiency, strength, and the tackling was poor. Bobby Okereke had some missed tackles. Xavier McKinney had some mixed tackles. Micah McFadden had a great game. He contained Christian McCaffrey on some one-on-ones in open field, but there was one play where Christian McCaffrey kind of like shook him where he shouldn't have shook him because it was at the line of scrimmage inside the hole, like at the line. Michael McFadden should have gotten that tackle, but Christian McCaffrey shook him and got like about 7 yards. Tackling was basically optional, and there was other plays on 3rd down where it was 3rd and 12 and they got a first down. They got a first down. A couple of penalties didn't go our ways on 3rd down here and there, but it is what it is. But the defense was like, man, what do you want from us? They kind of were like, whatever. It's Thursday night. I don't really care. It's the Niners. They expect us to beat us anyway. So let's just go out here and not get hurt. A couple of the defensive linemen accepted defeat. When you're a defensive lineman kid, you play defensive line in college. I mean, in high school, I think, right? Defensive line linebacker, right?
Me?
Yeah,
I play defensive line. Yeah.
Yeah. So how like some defensive linemen, them and the offensive linemen, they make a deal. Like we'll just sit here and just shove each other. But we don't really do nothing. We'll just shove each other, see like we're doing something, and you don't get hurt, I don't get hurt, and we just keep it moving, right? We make a deal. That's what sometimes it looked like on the defensive line, where our defensive line just like, hey man, hey Trent, man, chill, Trent. We're making a deal. I'm gonna shove you, you shove me. It doesn't look that bad on tape. It shows that I'm actually doing some shoving. You know what I mean? And you look like you're doing some shoving, but we're fine. That's what it looked like. It didn't look like. And here's the thing too, man. One of their guards, I think it's Brendel. Dirty play. He had a dirty play where the play is over. The play is over. He grabs DJ Davis's entire arm and he tries to rip his arm out of his socket, and he pile drives DJ Davis into the ground. He does it right in front of Kayvon Thibodeau. Tibbs sees it happen. And you know what Tibbs does? He doesn't react. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He didn't react. He doesn't give a damn. I'm not like, that's what that play looked like. But if that was me and someone tried to do that to him after the whistle, it was after the whistle. The whistle's being blown. If someone did that to my defensive tackle, a fight breaks out. So I'm jumping on that guard and I'm stomping him out.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that with all the injuries that you guys had, and knowing what you're dealing with, you're facing the 49ers. You're still in a one-score game for most of the game until the end game, and then you're saying that they just don't look like they're putting a lot of fight into it. Like I just that's kind of crazy to me.
Because I feel like also the Niners were kind of going like they're just kind of like, I don't know, whatever, like whatever. It was 17. It was no. It was 20-12 entering the fourth. The Niners defense entering the fourth. Our defense was kind of having a good game a little, but then they kind of like whatever, because the offense couldn't do anything. The offense wasn't doing anything. It wasn't doing anything. But but if you see your offense not doing anything, you see this, you're like, yo, man, they can't do nothing. So we need to give them a short field. We need to give them a short field. You got to put it on your back, and you got to give them a short field. You see this going on as the game is progressing. Mentally adjust, like, yo, man, our offense it's not really doing much. Let's try to give them a short field. And they couldn't give them a short field. We were always on the other side of the 50. There was one time where we were on the plus side of the 50, and we could have gotten a touchdown, but we ended up only, settling for a field goal. We could have, I think it was like in the first quarter. The offense wasn't there because the offensive line isn't there. It's not there. So the defense, on some occasion they accepted defeat here and there, but they played mostly well to keep us in the game. But the tackling was just awful. Like, there was times where the defense should have gotten off the field. It was like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12. You should be off the field. But you let Wink Martindale is Wink Martindale. He's been in the game for years. People know how to beat his scheme. He doesn't change up his scheme a lot. It's 3rd and 15. He brings the house. Niners run a screen. And they run a screen to literally probably the best running back in the entire NFL. When he's fully healthy, nobody can touch Christian McCaffrey. Running and catching. And you know what? He didn't just get enough. He got +5. He got like a 20-yard, it was a 20-yard screen. And it was easy money. And I'm like, what? Like, the linebackers didn't sniff this out? Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden didn't sniff this out? The edge players didn't sniff this out. Kayvon, whoever's on the edge, was either O'Shane Zimenez or Jihad Ward, one of them. It's 3rd and 15. You don't allow them to get 15. You allow them to get 7, fine. But you let them get 20. You couldn't tackle. Your offense didn't help you because your offense wasn't doing pretty much anything. You had that one scoring drive. But that was pretty much it. Because their defensive line was like, yo, your offensive line is not that good, homie. We're going man. We're stacking the box. And we have no respect. And Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave literally shoves Shane Lemieux into Daniel Jones's lap. Literally shoves him into his lap. We don't have guards. Our best guard's Ben Bredesen, and that's saying a lot. Andrew Thomas wasn't playing. So we had Joshua Zudu playing left tackle. Andrew Thomas is probably coming back this week. Probably Saquon Barkley's showing up too. I don't know why. I think it's crazy. I think you let him sit one more week. It's a high ankle sprain. What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, you kind of need this game. Like,
yeah, we do.
If you don't have this game, I mean, what's your season going to look like going forward? I mean,
yeah.
It might be ending pretty early, even though we're pretty much in the start. It's still
we're still early
season, but you still need the season because if you don't get this game, that's another NFC loss. I mean, you're kind of spiraling at that point.
Well, now let's transition over to previewing the following week for both of our teams. Let's talk about the Giants are against the Seahawks on Monday night. You know what? We may start doing something a little different. Probably do a little short videos. Maybe, I don't know. We'll talk about it a little bit more. We got another primetime game. Daniel Jones is 1-11 in primetime games. 1-11.
That's worse Kirk Cousins.
No, Kirk Cousins hasn't won in primetime at all.
He has.
There's one. It's like one, right? They have one win in primetime.
He has a losing record, but he's won games in primetime.
Okay, it doesn't matter. But he's 1-11. But the thing that's a little weird about that record, Caleb, we were only favored to win one of those games. Like, that's the thing. Like, they put him on primetime, but they expect him to lose all those games except one. And that's what happened. The Giants lost those games. You expected them to lose, they lost. You predicted the future correctly. Good job, Vegas. Hope you're happy. It happens. But this is a rematch of last year where I said it was It was the 10 a.m. game where the Seahawks basically said we have no respect. We have no respect for your receivers. We're jamming you up. We're stacking the box. What are you gonna do about it? And you know what, Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari, well, like I said last year, you're against Charles Cross and their like 4th round right tackle, and you guys didn't do anything either. Like, I know Charles Cross was the best pass protection left tackle in the game. You got to give me something. You got to give me something. You got a sack last week. Get another sack. You got to give me something, man. We need pressures. Dexter Lawrence can't do it by himself. You need outside pressure. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of seeing Kayvon Thibodeau in coverage. Let him rush the passer. He's a defensive end. He's a defensive end. Yes, I know he has the athleticism to do that. That's why I'm a big fan of him over Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson, because they can't do that. You can't send Aiden Hutchinson to guard a tight end or a running back in the flat. You can't. It's not happening. You got to let him rush the passer. He needs to learn counter moves. He needs to learn the spin, the rip, the swim, the rip, the spin move. Get pressure. You know, let me tell you this injury list of the Seahawks. I know it's Thursday, but here's who's on the injury list. Did not participate in practice. Their star left tackle, Charles Cross, DK Metcalf, Phil Haynes, Trey Brown, Kobe Bryant, Damone Jones, Draymond Jones, Quandre Diggs, Jerron Reed, Achuna Owusu, Daryl Taylor, limited participation in practice. Their tight end Will Disley, safety Julian Love, cornerback Artie Burns, full participation in practice. Reek Woolen, and Jamal Adams. They're coming back from their injuries, but they're not game speed ready. But like this, they have so many people on the injury list. They have a lot. And one of them is their star left tackle. And I was reading this article by Dan Duggan. There's no cavalry coming. No one's coming to save you. No one is. Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, Chris Snead, David Deal, Sean O'Hara, Rich Seibert, Kareem McKenzie, Kevin Booth. They're not walking through that door. You're stuck with these people you got. You need to elevate yourselves. You got to want it. I can break down tape if you want me to. I can do all that jazz. I haven't done it in years. It's going to take me, but I don't want to do that, because at the end of the day, it ain't about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. You ain't got the Jimmies. You ain't got the Joes. Your X's and O's mean nothing. If you don't got a receiver who can run that route the way you want it, that route you drew up, it means nothing. Playing defense is not this complicated system anymore. It's about getting pressure on the quarterback. It's all about getting pressure on the quarterback. You must disrupt timing, anticipation. Because if a quarterback expects the receiver to be here at this point, and the receiver expects the quarterback to be there at one point, but now if the quarterback is running around and when the receiver's like, oh, I'm not getting the ball, and it's past the timing, you've won. Then now you just got to go corral him and attack him. You got to get pressures. Our defensive line's not getting pressure. We need pressure. And you got to tackle. Wrap up. Chop your feet. I'm talking like I'm in high school football practice. Chop your feet, wrap up. Like it's football hasn't changed, Caleb. Like in the 100 years of football, playing defense, chop your feet, wrap up. Get pressure on the quarterback. Chop your feet, wrap up, get pressure on the quarterback. It's that easy. People, it's not, it's like, oh, what about the 4-3, the 3-4, the 4-2-5, the 3-3. It doesn't matter, because you still got to wrap up. Chop your feet and wrap up. You got to tackle. Bobby Okereke said they were doing tackle circuit drills in practice. That's a training camp drill. But they were so bad at tackling, they had to bring the drill back. Xavier McKinney had a little interview where it was like, the tackling is the problem. We got to play with more juice, more anticipation, I think he said, and more energy, I think. And he's right. Wake up. Wake up. Antrell Roll's not walking through that door. Corey Webster's not showing up. Antonio Pierce is not suiting up next to you. You're muted.
I said, we get it. You can name all the players on the rosters of the Super Bowl teams.
I know, man. Cause I'm just, like, it ain't talent. It's about want. Do you want it? It's do you want it?
It's sort of about talent. You guys have a very lack of talent.
I'm talking about the talented players. We ain't got no talent on the offensive line. That's very clear. But I'm talking about the
receiving core either.
Hey, you calm down. You calm down, sir. I'm a big fan of Isaiah Hodgins.
No talent at quarterback. And the secondary.
You know what's funny? You want to talk about talent at quarterback, Caleb? There's this quarterback that I know that's had a great offensive line for most of his career, a phenomenal run game, a couple of great wide receivers, an occasional good defense here and there, makes the playoffs constantly, but doesn't win anything. What's his name? Oh yeah, his name is Dak Prescott.
He's won a lot of games.
Winning a lot of games means nothing if you can't do it when the games mean more.
Well,
all right.
I mean, you can get done. We'll see.
How many playoff games he won?
He's won 2.
He's won 2. Daniel Jones got 1. You have 1 more than Daniel Jones.
Okay, still more.
1 game. 1. And he's been in the league for 3+ years, and he's made the playoffs more too. He's only won 1 more than Daniel Jones. All right.
But you played Kirk Cousins in primetime, so that's not
so.
I mean, so
who's your playoff wins against?
A great accomplishment.
What's your
Tom Brady and Russell Wilson?
So 45-year-old Tom Brady, when everyone knew he was shit last year, you're accepting that.
Yeah, because he's still Tom Brady.
Okay, so you're gonna accept that, but you're gonna shit on the Kirk Cousins win. Really, fam? Okay.
Yes,
all right.
I absolutely will.
Okay.
45-year-old Tom Brady is still better than prime time.
Tom Brady, where he was what 8-7-1 or something like that, where he had a horrible year. Or I find Caleb, you're against the Patriots.
That's the worst defense in the league, and you're gonna act like, oh, you did such a great job.
Same level of playoff victory as beating Tom Brady when he's 45 and rickety. Yeah, sure, Caleb. Yeah, all right. We're gonna accept the win over the 45.
We blew them out, unlike barely getting the win over the Vikings, who had the worst defense. But
they had phenomenal offense. What did you expect? Offense showed up. All right. So Ezekiel Elliott, Dallas Cowboys. Yep. What's going on? Hit me.
This gonna be a tough game. If we play like we did last week, if we don't change anything, we don't fix anything, it's gonna be rough again, because Belichick knows how to. I mean, he knows how to counter a weakness. He knows how to exploit the weaknesses of the opposing team. So I see him doing just that. They ran the ball 40 times against the Jets defense. They have a pretty decent defense, and they said they were going to sit there and run against them. I don't see why they wouldn't do that against us and just sit there and run the ball all game and gash us for a whole ton of yards, just like the Cardinals did. And that's why I definitely can see that happening, especially with Zeke coming back to Dallas. He's definitely want to get his carries. He wants to get his yards and, try to prove a point. So I can see them gashing us in the run game in this game. And then on offense, I mean, they have pretty tough defense. And it's just a question mark of who's going to play on the offensive line. They may be able to put more pressure on Dak than the Cardinals were able to. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty scary if we don't have our guys in the offensive line for us. If we do, then I don't think it'd be. If we do have our guys, I don't think we'll have a problem. We've shown we can move the ball, and then if we have our have our offensive line, I think we'll be able to still move the ball pretty decently. It's just when we get in the red zone, what's going to happen? I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, we don't look good. We don't look good when we get there. We're just stuck in like a pit, and we just can't get out when we hit the red zone. So hopefully we get like we just gotta get our stuff fixed. I mean that's basically what it comes down to. If it shows that we don't and we still have these penalty problems and we can't do what we want, then we're gonna lose. How simple.
Yeah, man. I mean, because Bill Belichick, man, the defense always shows up against Miami. People talk about Miami. Miami dropped 70 points on the Broncos, man. Miami beat the Patriots because the Patriots took the receivers out. Tyreek Hill did not have a great game. The receivers were not very good that game. Christian Gonzalez out of the University of Oregon. By the way, shout out to Oregon. Also blowing out Colorado this week. So, and yeah, but damn, Colorado gets blown out, then the Broncos get blown out. Colorado, the state of Colorado football.
Yeah.
Oof, no,
Bad.
Yeah, it was a bad week. But yeah, they took one aspect of the Miami offense out, and the Miami just ran the ball with Raheem Mostert and won the game. But it was a close game till the end. I think the difference is, Tom Brady's not the quarterback, Mac Jones is, and that's why the Patriots lost the game. Because let's be real, Tom Brady was the difference maker. Bill Belichick keeps you in games. Tom Brady took you out. That was the way the relationship was for the past 20 years. People be like, who's more important, him or him? They needed each other. Bill kept you in the game. Tom Brady took you out, and that's what happened. And if Dallas isn't ready, and here's the thing, man. Bill Belichick's like, they can't stop the run. We have 4 running backs. Just run the goddamn ball. Run Zeke Elliott, Ramondre Stevenson. They can't stop us. Like, let's just run the ball. Let's make them over pursue, because they're pass rushers. You have a lot of pass rushers. And not a lot of overall good defensive linemen. You have Jonathan Higgins, who's a very good run stuffer, not a very good pass rusher. You have a lot of one-dimensional defensive linemen. Sam Williams, pass rusher. Dante Fowler, pass rusher. Ozzie Odigizua, kind of a pass rusher. I don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
mean, he's a 3 technique. He's not the.
Yeah, it's a pass rusher. And you know what? Michael Parsons, bad at a hill. Pass rusher. That man is just flowing everywhere.
Which is crazy because he was a run stopper.
he was an off-ball outside linebacker.
Yeah.
That's the people forget that. Which you know what? Kind of makes sense now that they moved him to like line and he's flourishing. And when he was that off-ball linebacker, he really didn't do much. Because he hated it, So because he wants to attack. He wants to attack. You know what? And you're being over aggressive. You're being aggressive. Bill Belichick's gonna be like, they're being aggressive. Let's reverse it on them, make them over pursue, and that's what's gonna happen. But if you guys stay home and actually, play the run, you guys could win because you guys have more talent than them.
And honestly, there's no reason why we shouldn't win this game. We should win this game. I mean, we have more talent. They don't have a lot of talent in offense. I mean, they have a lot of receivers. Matt Jones hasn't been playing that great.
Who are the receivers? Who
knows?
Kendrick Bourne?
Yeah, he's one of them. But yeah, I mean, they don't really have a lot of offensive weapons there. So there's no reason why they should do much against our secondary. Even without Trayvon Diggs, we still have a depth on in the secondary. So there's no problem we should have there. It's all about that rush defense, and there's no reason why offense we can't still move the ball on them if we just keep running the ball like we did last week. We should win. We should win by at least 10 points, honestly. But if we sit there and have penalties, can't stop the run, then we're gonna lose.
All right, Caleb. So score, what are we doing?
I That's tough. I mean, it's really a question mark. Because like I said, if we don't have the guys, we don't have the offensive line, we don't have, we don't do what we need to do, we can easily lose. So I guess I cut it in the middle of whether we should win and how we should lose. And I'll just go right in the middle and probably say we win, or we win by a small amount, like 20. I'll just go like 27-20.
27-20, so 7 points.
Yeah, touchdown basically.
I don't think we're gonna beat the Seahawks. I don't think so. I think the Seahawks win. I think they win 28-14. And they win 28-14.
Yeah, the one thing you got going first, you got the kind of the more time off, Thursday, Monday. So you got more time rest than they do. You got that going for them, and like I said, I think that you're playing you have to play desperate, even though it's still early in the season. I think you guys gonna go out there and give it all you got, and because you need this one.
Yeah, man. Because here's the thing, too, man. Our margin of error, 0. Daniel Jones needs to be perfect. We need to be perfect to win games. Our margin of error is 0. It's absolutely 0. And I don't understand where we got. They told me we got better in the offseason, but I ain't seen it. I'm not seeing it. The offensive line got worse. It got worse. Bobby Johnson needs to go. We need a new offensive line coach. We need throw money at Mike Munchak, throw money at Brian Callahan, throw money at Jeff Soundland. I don't care. Stop. Bobby Johnson, he needs to go. He needs to go. Where's Darren Waller at? Where's Darren Waller? And there was big conversation about there's this pass where Darren Waller didn't catch it. Was it a bit high? Yeah, it was. But Darren Waller didn't look like didn't need to jump that high to get it. He missed it. It would have been a clear third down conversion, and he would have gotten a couple of extra yards. So there was that. It was kind of bad. But yeah, man. Bobby Okereke needs to play better. I'm watching him, man. He's not off the hook, man. He needs to play better. He's not been playing good at all. So yeah, I think the Seahawks gonna win. I think the Seahawks gonna win. Call me a fake Giants fan. I don't really give I'm talking practicalities. And I know their defense hasn't been great, the Seahawks, but their offense is humming. They're humming, baby. They're humming. So good luck. 28-14. Seahawks. All right, Joe. That's it. I'm done, asking where people can find us. You can find Caleb at NFL Caleb 22 on X or Twitter.
It's on the screen. Both on the screen.
Yeah. You can find me at FRS Muthana on X. You can find us here every Friday, 3:00 Pacific. Pre-recorded. What's up?
But you can watch Bet in the NFL. Please watch Bet in the NFL.
Live every Wednesday. 8 o'clock Pacific.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Pacific. Where you want to make money? Watch that. I know it's a little late for some people, but it's never too late to make money. Am I right, Caleb? It's never too late to make money. Money is all ours. It's all ours. But guys,
you can make it better anytime.
Exactly. So. Just pull out your phone nowadays. Pull it out. Pause. But thank you guys so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And see y'all next time. Oh, I hope.
We hope. Oh, that's all we can do is hope right now.
That's all we can do is hope. You may see me Monday night if I'm happy. If I'm not streaming. But if I am, I may be streaming.
You're not gonna stream the game?
Nah, I was thinking of doing probably a little solo reaction type thing.
No Monday night watch along?
Nah. I'm gonna be at school.
Oh.
Well, actually,
we'll skip school.
Oh no. Actually,
I told you last week. Skip school.
I didn't have to skip.
School.
I didn't
You
have
don't
to
need
skip
Who
school
needs
last week. I didn't
How
have
about
to
school?
skip. We went right after the event. We went straight to the game, so we were good.
Nobody needs school. Stop going to school, kids.
No. I don't have to skip school because class ends at 3. I just go home straight away. It doesn't take me more than 2 hours to get home. So Monday night, it's like what 5:30? I'll be home by then. Yeah, I can watch it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, so then we can do watch along.
No, we're not gonna do a watch along. I'm done doing watch along of games. I'm done with that. Probably, a solo reaction, maybe not. We should start doing more solo reactions. Like Cowboys game, you pop on and give your thoughts on a solo live. Me give my thoughts on the solo live. Do a little, probably mix it up. You know what I mean? Have some fun on Sundays. Probably do streaming more on Sundays. So there's that. But because sometimes we don't play at the same time, right? We may get the 10 o'clock window, you get the 1 o'clock window, which is the
We're still
Cowboy.
live, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but we were thinking out loud. So peace, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. Where is that?